These are just Bostons. Daddy, do you know who my father is?
What? She's never cleaned the bathroom in her life.
All right, welcome back to We Should Jam Sometime, episode 62. I almost always say the episode number wrong, and then I'm editing it, and I'm like, fucking
God damn
Caleb,
it.
what the fuck?
We got to put this out like 6 episodes later.
Yeah. I'm always like way behind or like way ahead. I was at episode like 60, and it was like only episode like 58, and I was like, I'm an idiot.
I ruined it.
But anyway, episode 62. We got an interview with Addison Johnson coming up. It was super fun. We talked about absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But first things first, before we even tell you what's new, Craig fucked up.
Dude, I looked up so hard. Oh my God.
Craig,
I was wondering how we were going to get to that.
Yeah, I figured right out of the gate we talked about it.
Oh my God, dude.
Craig was
Okay.
a victim of the internet.
Holy shit. Okay, so like wow, so stupid. I was working because I got like all this extra fucking responsibility at work. So I like usually I would like put on a tunes or podcast or whatever, and I'd be like, just checking my phone all the time. I'm just on my phone a criminal amount. And sorry, Tony. And but so I'm on my phone all the time usually, and now especially on this day, I was like on the forklift all day, like for like 4 hours I was on the forklift. But I was like 2 hours into like loading trucks or whatever. And then my podcast just cut out. Like my phone was in my pocket the whole time, and my podcast just stopped playing. And I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" So I like pull out my phone for the first time in like 2 hours, and I have like 2 notifications, both from Caleb. One on Snapchat, one on Messenger, or sorry, on text. And the text one I saw right away, and it was just like, "Yo, why did you post a photo of your conversation with Dan?" And I was like, what the fuck? And like, for those that don't know, I have a song that's being mixed by Dan Broadbeck right now.
Yeah.
And
they know you've been talking about it.
Yeah, I've
for
been
like
just stay tuned posting it for so long. And but I screen capped a thing because it was like a mixing edit thing that I had to send to my engineer. And so I was just like, oh my God, I have a photo of the conversation I had with Dan from like a couple days ago that better not be posted somewhere. So I go through my shit and like I'm refreshing things and it's not coming up. So I text Caleb back and I was like, what? And like I'm still checking my shit, and then I get another text from Caleb and he goes, dude, check your Facebook story. And I'm like, what? So I go to my Facebook story and it's like posted screen caps of my conversation with Dan, the fucking MIA prof that's Grammy nominated and shit. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, not that it was incriminating or whatever, but I was like, oh my God. So I'm like going through and it's posted like 5 things to my Facebook story, and it was like Dan's conversation posted twice, and then a photo of an electrical generator that I screen capped for the stupidest reason ever. So like I was Googling at like 7 in the morning, because the thing is, it's a screen cap, right? So the time's on there, and like it was like 7:12 a.m. and it's like a big electrical generator, and the caption underneath is, "This bad boy is liquid cooled." So like Caleb, like I went like, what the fuck, dude? I'm so embarrassed, and I like took everything down. But then I like called Caleb later, and I was like, dude, this is so stupid. Like it was just like a boring conversation with me and my mixing guy, and then an electrical generator with the stupidest caption, and like 25 people saw it, and I was like, no, dude. At least it wasn't Instagram, because like 200 people will see that sometimes. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, man.
Well, it was funny because it was like right there when I opened my Facebook, and I could see that it was like a screenshot of a convo, and I'm like, that's weird. And I open it and I read through the convo, and I'm like, like there's no way that was intentional.
Yeah, it's
but
so
then
boring.
I like closed my Facebook, and I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. And then like real quick, a whole thing went through my head of later getting a text from Craig being like, dude, I posted this, I don't even know what happened. And then me being like, yeah, I saw that at like fucking 4. No. And then having him just be like, why didn't you say anything?
Oh,
so I texted him, because
God.
I was like, oh, maybe he's posting it as like some weird stay tuned post thing. And then I reread the conversation. I was like, no, Dan's just missing files. Like there's nothing interesting about that at all.
It was so stupid. It wasn't even interesting shit. And you know what the worst part is like before that screen cap, there was like a screen cap of my cat and shit.
Yeah.
And like if it was just like a photo of my cat, it'd be like people would have no idea. They'd just be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? But no, it was like a double post of a boring conversation with me and Dan, which I feel like he might have seen it, which if there's no way he's listening to this, I'm not going to fucking acknowledge him on the camera. Like he doesn't give a fuck on this podcast. But I was like, no, Dan might have seen this. And then it was like a weird I was going to talk about it on the podcast because it was like, I Googled the most expensive things you can buy on Amazon.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you can buy an electrical generator on Amazon. How funny is that, everyone? Like I'm saying it out loud. I'm like, that's not even fucking funny. Who cares? And yeah, I fucked up and I just posted a bunch of shit on my Instagram story and there's my Facebook story.
Yeah.
And it was really stupid.
That's
and well, when I first opened up my phone too, it was like I was on Messenger and it was like about to log me out, and I was like, oh, my phone is doing a bunch of shit, and then I found all that shit out. Now I've got to have a lock on my phone because I don't trust anyone anymore.
You will dial 911.
Yeah, dude. What if I like called my mom and I was just like, fucking bitch, like fucking like loading skids into a truck and I'm just saying a bunch of horrible things.
Dude, one time I was 13 and I was staying at my aunt's house, and like around that time my cousins were all like really young, so I would like go over there in the summer and just like basically babysit for free, but I'd get like a holiday because I get to hang out or whatever.
Right.
And so like they had built this house, but the basement was unfinished, but that's where I was sleeping, and I had like accidentally pocket dialed 911. And then I like, so, and it's like also like 11:30 p.m.
Okay, middle of the day.
So I hear like in my pocket like, hello, fucking hi, and I like pick it and I see a sign and I just fucking
hung
hang up.
I've done that same
which you can't
thing.
do. So they call back and I just don't answer, and they call back again and I'm like, what? So I like pick it up and they're like, hey, like you fucking called. And I was like, and the thing with 911 is you can't just be like, yeah, my bad, it was a pocket call.
You can do that. I did that, and they were like, "Okay, no problem."
Oh, really?
Yeah,
These
dude.
people didn't feel the same way. So that maybe
They
it's
were
because I was
pissed.
13. I sound like a kid. No, they weren't even pissed. They were just
They just didn't believe you.
They're like, okay, well that's fine, but they're like, where are you?
Oh,
And I was
no.
like, well, I'm at my aunt's house, and they're like, okay, what's the address? And I was like, I have no idea. So now they're like, well, that's not good. So then I had to go upstairs to my aunt's room and knock on the door and be like, hey,
What's the address?
I fucking called the police. And then my aunt was just like, because like it was my dad's side of the family, and we're just all very sarcastic and like sure you fucking did.
Yeah,
so my aunt's
right.
like, okay,
Dude,
and it's
for
like
real.
it's like hello, like thinking it's like one of my friends
Oh,
or some
no,
shit.
dude.
And they're like, yeah, hi, Mrs. Callis, did you? And they're like, oh fuck,
Dude, shit.
Yeah. So then the cops came and like okay, one police officer came,
Yeah.
and made sure that I wasn't like, but they were like, because I was a kid, they were like, look, the reason we had to do this is because like we don't know that there's not like a guy there.
Yeah.
Being like,
yeah,
tell them not to
don't
fucking-
say it.
Yeah.
Don't say shit. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of scary.
Jesus.
But, yeah, so be careful with your phone in your pocket, people.
Yeah, I fucked up. Sorry, Dan. You're not going to
Yeah.
listen to this. I don't care.
Sorry. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So we have what we're doing now is basically I think we're gonna set this up as YouTube. Everything's gonna be its own video.
Yeah.
But if you're listening to this, it's all one big episode. So we're gonna fucking talk for a bit. We got some new fun things to do, and then we'll throw the interview, and then we got something else at the end.
Yeah, dude. We're getting fucking organized on
Dude,
this
we're
shit.
getting real organized. It's like a real show.
For real. We're going to get like a Patreon.
Yeah.
You can give us $15 and get photos of my penis.
For $15.
$15.
That's it?
Is that
Yeah.
a lot?
No.
That's so little.
Oh,
little.
not the penis. Just the cost is little.
Yeah.
cost.
The penis isn't that
Oh,
big
I also
either.
didn't. I forgot to announce. I'm so sorry. That's so rude. Caleb, Craig, we have Juan Julio over there.
Juan Julio is on the mic over
Yeah,
there.
over there. Look. Oh, can you? For the end, we're gonna roll back around. Addison brought up Kiss playing a show to Sharks, and we're gonna need to talk about that later.
Yeah,
So
for
could you
sure.
Google the band Kiss playing a show to Sharks?
Yeah, I want to know that
Apparently,
that's
it was
real.
on Billboard. I need to see photos or something.
Like actual shark?
Yeah, apparently.
Dude, he played to Sharks, or they played to Sharks.
Yeah.
My bad.
Well,
Anyway,
actually,
you'll hear
apparently they were supposed to play Sharks.
They were
and the
supposed to, but
Sharks,
yeah.
Sharks didn't show up.
Yeah, you'll hear about it.
But anyway, so for the first segment, we're gonna do a new thing called "This Is My Jam" and "This Is Not My Jam," and we're just gonna talk about things that made us happy and pissed us off this week.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have anything. Do you have anything that you want? Let's start. You want to start with happy?
Yeah, let's give them the good news and then just devastate
Okay.
their day
Okay.
after.
Okay, I'm gonna do my This Is My
Yeah.
Jam. I was having a hard. I have a whole list on my phone of potential This Is Not
Yeah,
My
just
Jam,
as they happen.
and I have one This Is My Jam. So, so after band practice, we did this whole bit at band practice where Nick now wears a puka shell necklace. He doesn't. It was just a funny bit that we
Yeah,
did.
for sure.
So then we come home and I was like, "Hey, Julia, Nick's wearing a puka shell necklace now," and she was like, "No way." And I was like, "And also, he's gonna get his nipple pierced." And she was like,
Sick.
"No, he's not." And I was like, "Yes, he is."
100%.
And she's like, "I'll text him." And I was like, "Text him."
Ask him
So
right
she
now.
texts Nick, and then like I don't know, 10 minutes go by, and then her phone goes off, and she starts laughing. She's like, "Nick's so funny. He asked like." He said, like, "Yeah, for sure. Like, would that be sexy?" So then I texted Nick, and I was like, "Yo, thanks for going along
Yeah,
with
thanks
the
for
nipple
going with
thing."
it, yeah.
And then Nick calls me, and he goes, "Dude," I figured that it was something you told her. He goes, "But also, so Nick is commuting now, and so his phone is hooked up Bluetooth to the car, I guess.
Right.
So it reads his text.
Oh,
So,
okay.
So Nick's just driving,
Yeah.
and his phone goes off, music stops, and then the car goes like, text message from Julia, and then it reads. Nick has no idea that this is coming, and the car just goes, "Are you getting your nipple pierced?"
Are you getting your nipple pierced?
Nick was like, "Dude, I started fucking losing it," and the car.
that's
So
so
I'm like,
good.
I'm just thinking from his perspective, like how, because he's like,
Oh,
"Why the
I'd
fuck
be
is Julia
dying
texting me?"
laughing.
And then just the car's like, "Are you getting your nipple pierced?"
You know, it's like all monotone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
like, are you getting your nipple
he was
pierced?
like, it was great because it was in the Siri voice, so it was really funny.
Oh, that's so fucking
Dude,
good.
so that was my jam. That's so funny, and
Yeah,
it brought
that's
me
good.
it brought me a lot of joy.
What's my jam? I had a bunch of stupid shit happen, but that's for later. I got the mix back from Dan.
Okay, that's your jam.
Yeah,
That's
this
a
is
literal,
my this is
literal
a-
jam.
A final, probably not the final one, but like a conclusion to the hey, my song's being mixed. Yeah, Dan sent me a mix for the new song, and it sounds fucking dope, and I'm really excited to show it to you guys. And it's called "The Way We Used to Be," and Julia did a bunch of photos for me, and she's gonna send them to me right now.
Just the
She
one
didn't do
you
that.
wanted.
What?
I already sent you the other one.
Oh, man. Yeah, she sent me a bunch of other ones, and then I was a diva, and I asked for edits, and
Yeah, take me for
I was like, "Can you make my penis look bigger?"
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, she was she's like, make the bulge look better.
yeah. The balls are really big, but the shaft isn't big enough. I've been listening to this fucking stupid podcast too much, and they just talk about dicks all the time.
I
And now,
literally-
like, I feel like I sound like Shane Smith right now because he's very effeminate.
I hope my mom doesn't listen to this.
Your mom listens to this?
I hope she doesn't.
Babe, use the mic.
I mean,
That
she
thing's-
is right here.
she's
it doesn't-
talking into it.
No, it doesn't.
No,
my
it's
pick
just
it.
God.
not registering at all.
Yeah.
There you
What
go.
about now?
Now it is. Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
check your IOs?
That's how
I
microphones
said,
work.
I hope my mother does not listen
Does
to
your
this
mom
podcast.
listen to this?
Probably not. But
My dad apparently listened to a few of them because when we were all at home, because I wasn't coming over, and he was upset. Apparently, he was sad.
I feel like after this Addison one, I feel like we might lose Michelle Gould.
Yeah, maybe. It's
and
pretty.
if we do, I'm
it's
so
pretty
sorry,
gross.
Michelle. It's
I've already talked about my penis a lot.
yeah.
There
it's-
isn't any mention of it in the Addison interview though, and it's really funny. I had
We
like a
just-
genuine laugh attack.
We say some stuff with that.
We definitely said some stuff. We're gonna comp everything that Addison said, but I don't want to give anything away. But yeah, so that's my jam for the week. I got the mix back and it sounds really good, y'all. And I'm gonna try to get it on some sweet premiere. I'm not gonna say what yet. I don't know if I've said it in the previous podcast.
We should jam sometime. We'll premiere it.
Yeah, we'll definitely premiere it. We'll definitely put it at the beginning or end of. Well, at the end. We're
If
not gonna
you-
intro with a sad song.
Also, follow us and subscribe on stuff.
Yeah, totally. If you're not following us on Spotify or on Apple Music or whatever, you should do that. And I've been listening to this other podcast, and they say you should write a review on iTunes.
Oh yeah, so that's the other thing is, yeah, I don't know if Spotify has a review system. I
I don't
meant to
think they
look.
do.
I don't think they do. But on iTunes, if you could fucking get
Yeah.
that 5-star. But then like write something in the review.
Write something down.
You know, and
Don't-
make it like funny or something, and we'll read it.
Yeah, I would love that. If you talk about my penis.
Oh my god.
No, okay, I'm done talking about my dick. It's not that impressive. But if you give us 4 or 5 stars, oh please. If you do 4 or 5 stars, that'll be awesome. And if you just say like, yeah, it's really funny, or like Caleb has a super sexy voice.
Yeah,
Because
that's
he does.
true. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
completely true. Like even if you don't like the podcast, it's true. So just say it. But yeah, that was my jam for the week.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we almost did 100 Facebook likes in a week.
That's dope. Also, we have a Facebook page now.
Yeah,
Which is-
I'm putting like all. I mean, I was gonna say
Wild.
all the videos are on there. All the videos are also on YouTube, but I
Yeah.
mean, some of the funny, like the shorter clips, are on Facebook only.
Yeah.
So
Go check us out
that's
on
cool.
every platform ever. We're not on.
yeah, we're actually only on those 3.
Yeah, we don't have Snapchat yet or anything.
No, I don't really use Snapchat.
I'm gonna have OnlyFans as of tomorrow.
Yeah, we're not gonna do a Patreon. We're gonna do an OnlyFans. You know,
Yeah.
we could do that. I mean,
We actually could. That's
I'm
a
pretty sure
legitimate thing for, like,
OnlyFans.
Isn't
like,
just for titties.
porn stars took over OnlyFans.
Yeah, they took it, which
Yeah.
good for you guys.
Yeah, good for you guys.
Sex work is real work, and if you don't think so, then you don't have to. You don't have to follow us. But we're getting political.
Dude, that's the hill we die on.
Yeah, yeah.
You can change our minds on anything,
Yeah, but
except
sex
for the fact that sex work is
sex
real
work is real work. I would do it if I had bigger balls.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right.
All right.
What was not your jam this week?
Okay, I had a bunch of like stuff that was just like superficial that I'll use if I don't have anything. But I found something real. Did you read or see anything about this Lady Antebellum shit?
Yes.
Wild.
I hate it, dude. They're trash.
Wild.
Yo, fuck Lady Antebellum.
Trash people. Also,
Yeah.
there's this crazy thing going on. Not to get too political, I'm just a guy that doesn't know what he's talking about. But there's this wild thing that like specifically white people do or corporations do, where they're like, "Oh yeah, we totally acknowledge that there's systematic racism. So what I'm gonna do as an actor who's already overpaid, I'm just gonna not play this cartoon role. Did I do a good job?
Yeah,
Did I
exactly.
do it?
I'm gonna just do the
And we
fucking bare
yeah,
minimum.
everybody does the bare minimum. And then so this band, Lady Antebellum, another reason why country music fucking sucks.
Yeah.
They were like, we're not getting enough attention, so Antebellum kind of has ties to slavery. Which,
100% it does.
And
It's
then-
to
well,
the
the-
Civil War.
well, it's a time period before the Civil War. No,
Yeah.
this is the
It's related to
it's
this
kind
or
of
just before
it's
the
kind
Civil
of
War.
a stretch. This is the
A bit, yeah.
The word means before the war or whatever,
Yeah,
which
so
is
it
before the
has
Civil War,
ties.
which means it's a time period at which slavery was at like its
I
height.
guess so. I was thinking about the Dixie Chicks.
Yes.
Right, and so they're just the chicks now.
Yes.
Which fucks. I think that's sick. That's so hot. But
My cousin
Dixie-
actually almost joined the Dixie Chicks. I ever tell you that? I have
What
like
the fuck, dude? How is this
Oh,
not
I
been brought up on the
remember that. I
podcast?
remember that.
an off shoot up. So I have cousins called the Becketts,
Okay.
and they're like
The Beckett chicks.
yeah, they're like what? No, they're like all like I don't say well known, but they're like fiddle players and stuff. And actually,
Sick.
my fucking cousin Lindsay, who almost joined the Dixie Chicks, was also in like that play that Sting was doing a couple years ago.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
That
she was like in
is
the
sick.
band. So Lindsay and Tyler Beckett both like tour around. Well, I don't know if Tyler does it anymore, but they like tour around playing like fiddle music and shit. And they're like,
That's
I don't
super
think they're
cool.
famous, but they do cool shit. Anyway, yeah, I think she was like 16 at the time, so she wasn't like legally allowed to like tour.
Right.
It was like a touring thing. She wasn't going to be like a
part of the
Dixie
band is
chick,
still
but-
part of the Dixie Chicks. Dude.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
for sure. But anyway, so the controversy is this Lady Antebellum band was like, oh, we'll get rid of the Antebellum because virtue signaling, and then
Right.
they dropped and so they're going to be Lady A. Well, then there's this black blues folk singer who's been going by Lady A for like 20 fucking years.
Yeah, a long time, y'all.
Now, I originally was just reading posts that didn't go too in depth into what was going on, and I was like, fuck this band. And then today, I was like, I should look into this a little bit more. So there is a little bit of like the band, I guess, tried reaching out, but also just pick a new name if you're going to change it.
Yeah.
Basically what happened is they're like, we'll go by Lady A. And then they're like, oh, there's this other lady A. So I guess what they did was they tried to like get the copyright for the name, and they had like been in talks with this lady that was like, I keep calling her lady like just as a lady.
Yeah, she's a lady.
And
Well,
forgetting
she is,
that
so
like
you can
I
say
know,
lady, that's fine.
but anyway, so and they're basically like, we don't want you to not use the name, and we're not, and like, you know, we want to be able to both use the name, and like
Right.
we'll figure out a way to also like not totally drown you in like basically Google search and
Yeah.
like. And so I guess like she was originally like they were kind of working on stuff, and then she like kind of changed her mind or whatever. So then that's when Lady Antebellum was like, well, we're just gonna sue you then to get the name. And they weren't like trying to like, they're not suing for like financial damages or anything. They're just basically like, well then fuck you, we'll take the name
Yeah,
kind of thing.
we just want it.
And then this other lady was like, if you give me $10 million, you can have the name.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'll keep 5 and then I'll donate 5 or whatever. Was
Yeah,
that the
fuck
deal.
yeah, dude.
And then that's, I guess that's kind of like where it's at right now. But it's like, just pick a new
different
name.
fucking name.
Oh, that
dude.
was, I guess the Lady A, like the actual Lady A was like, why don't you guys just go as like Lady A the band, or like the band Lady A or something? And
Yeah,
then there's
sure.
like no
the band
issue.
formerly known as Lady Antebellum.
Yeah.
Why don't you just
Yeah.
bring some fucking relevance
It's like,
to it?
It's like, just pick a
Don't forget,
pick
y'all.
a different name. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's also this thing, because like in their like statement when they were changing their name was like, we were just blinded to like, basically like, we were ignorant. And it's like, you've been a band for like 12
so
years.
yeah, so hang on. So fucking years back, they fucking got interviewed. They were like, hey, so Lady Antebellum, a bit problematic. Your name
really?
is. And yeah, and they were just like, yeah, we just thought it was like cool and aesthetic and like nostalgic. It's like nostalgic about fucking slavery, dude. Like literally, that's like you're fucking nostalgic about slavery is what I'm
Yeah,
reading,
yeah.
right? And so not only do I think they should come up with another name, I think they should all break up and fuck right off. That's what I think Lady A should do.
Yeah, I agree. I believe that too. So
And I know they're not going to listen to this, but somebody send it to them and then let them know that I personally think they should all fuck their own faces. Okay.
yeah, so
that also didn't jam with me.
Lady Antebellum.
Lady Antebellum, Lady A can fuck
not
off.
My jam.
Not my jam.
Not
yeah,
my jam.
not my jam either.
Okay.
Are
Are we sharing another jam, or do you have
I'm trying to think. I had a bunch of stupid shit happen. There's a bunch of stuff for real. Like I said, I had a bunch of extra responsibility dumped on me at work, which I'm being compensated for. So thanks, Tony.
Nice. What are you making now? What do you make a year?
Say your full address.
Dude,
Give us,
I had
release your tax
there
receipts.
we were like a gathering one time with my brother's friends, and I like won't get into much detail, but they had a friend that was just like brutal with that shit, and he was like trying to figure out what everybody was making. And he was like, "Yo, Drew, what do you make in an hour?" And he's like, "I'm not gonna tell you that." And then he's like, "All right, that's fair. What are you bringing in a year?"
What about a
and
year,
he's like,
though?
"That's the
Yeah,
same thing. That's the same
dude.
question."
You can literally do the math.
Yeah.
I don't know what didn't fuck with me this. I know it's what didn't jam, but what,
We're open to new names.
Yeah.
It was funny when I was explaining this stuff to Julia when it came to me the other day. I like those were just the names that immediately popped into my head. And when I was telling her these, I was like, "By the way, there's no room for movement on these names. This is what they have to be." And she was just like, "Okay, what are they?" And then I told her, and she said nothing. And I was like, "Yeah, nothing. Those names are horrible." What are you?
Yeah, it was actually a trick walking question.
I think they were fine.
Okay, well, thanks.
I think they're fine too.
They go with your podcast name.
Yeah, I think it works well.
I haven't thought of a sign off yet, so hopefully you do.
No, we got to use the same sign off as last time, and I remember it. But
You didn't wear shorts and it was fucked.
and it was fucked, dude. It was super fucked. I didn't even see it. And it was fucked.
Cargo short.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck Lady A. That's my. It didn't jam with me
Yeah,
either.
it's that bad.
Yeah, fuck that
All
shit.
right.
Not the jazz singer. The band.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
band.
band.
Fuck Lady Antebellum, the band.
Right?
The
She's
band
a jazz
formerly known
singer?
as Lady Antebellum can eat
She's
their
a blues,
own
blues
asses
singer.
in not a
Yeah.
pleasurable
Okay.
way.
Yeah, geez, Craig got really.
Dude,
as soon as I was like, "Craig, can you please be like a permanent part of this?" He was like, "Yes, but I'm talking
I
about
gotta,
my dick."
I gotta tell you about dicks and asses all the time.
Yeah,
It's
so-
literally me listening to Cowboy Boys too much.
Yeah.
Um,
So, hey, I've been listening to History Hyenas too much, and I say it's what it is, and you got another thing coming a lot.
Yeah, we're not giving recommendations at the end of the show from Caleb and I anymore when we have guests. So those are our unofficial recommendations.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
check those out.
Yeah. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna pitch to the interview, and then we're gonna be back to sign off. So fucking here is the interview with Addison Johnson from Lost in Japan.
Enjoy.